Hi, I'm Azza and I'm interviewing Meagan Burns on my Women's Wisdom channel, so please subscribe if you like. I interview really interesting women, and you have grass-fed beef, not organic.
Correct.
Grass-fed.
Friends.
What's the difference?
Well, the world of organics is complicated, and even in the United States, it's highly regulated, but it's also fraught with a lot of fraud. Here in Mexico, as you know, regulating anything is a lot more complicated, and so. But when you're talking about regulating what live animals are eating, very difficult, and I'm not going to say impossible, but it's really challenging. So what we have are grass-fed cattle, which are eating natural Guanajuato grasses and alfalfa and rastro. So they have they're not our animals are not given antibiotics or hormones or any sort of growth injections, which is pretty commonplace these days. But a lot of people are waking up to that and are demanding a cleaner, healthier meat, and also for a better treatment of the animals. So the difference between these animals and, say, a factory farm is what happens when animals, almost every cow is eating pasture grass from the time that they're standing up until about, depending on who you ask, about 2 years. And then they're sent off to a factory farm for finishing. And what that means is, like, they're very rapidly, they require the cows to gain weight, and that usually is with injections, antibiotics, hormones, and there's a variety of growth cocktails that are given to cows in order to, like, almost double their weight.
Right.
And by doubling their weight, the meat gets that beautiful marbling that we all are familiar with. I mean, pretty much everyone in our generation has grown up with, that juicy steak that, you can cut very easily, and it's marbly and fat and wonderful. But upon further investigation, what is causing all that wonderful marbling isn't great for the cows and isn't great for our health. And in fact, it's pretty detrimental. So our cows are eating grass and alfalfa and minerals. We are giving them minerals and stuff like that. But so they don't go through that fattening up process. So what that means is a grass-fed beef is very lean, doesn't have the fat that we're accustomed to, but the flavor of the meat is just, it's so pure. It is so much better for you. And
so they're outside walking around eating grass.
They are. They're in the corral over. They come in at sunset, and so they're all in the corral. And then at about 7, 8 in the morning, well, when it's light out, they are led out into the fields. And we have Rancho Santo Nino is about 650 acres. So, but the cattle go on about 250 of those acres. So they have quite a bit of grassland to nosh on.
Right. So what about the killing process? The killing process. With the Eskimos, what they do is they pray and bless the animal and talk to the spirit of the animal and thank the animal for giving their bodies to them to sustain their life. So
then I must be an Eskimo.
You do that too.
Well,
she's
I'm an Eskimo. Yeah, I believe in honoring and respecting these cows. That's a big part of how I came to be a part of this, because I am very grateful for what the cows are providing. They're fuel for me, for you. Their clothes, their healing. I mean, their belts. I mean, they become a lot of things amongst the community. And I, for one, I'm really, I want to make sure that they're treated with respect and happy as much as possible. And because I'm a big fan of Temple Grandin, who, if you're familiar with her at all, she identified with cows very early in life. And
what's her name?
Temple Grandin.
Temple Grandin.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's a woman. She's now, I believe, in Kansas somewhere, and autistic woman who identified with cows at a very young age. And but then when she was in college, her life's work became to redesign how cows would go to slaughter, because she could see how distressed they were when they were on their way to slaughter. And she didn't really have a problem with the slaughter because she felt that the animals were, they were to become our food. But she just could see a better way for them to go to slaughter. And she redesigned slaughterhouses so there was far less stress and accidents, because she made the cows hug corners all the way to the slaughter, as opposed just to being rammed in where they would be stressed and knocking each other, and they can smell it, so that if you can smell your death coming, you're going to be a little tense, to say the least. So it kind of keeps them calm and moving towards it. And for me, it was, I had some thyroid issues, and tried a variety of different diets, and I didn't have to go on medication, but I found by eating mostly paleo, my health improved greatly. I'm not like endorsing paleo, but for me personally, it really turned things around for me. And
what's paleo?
It's eating like cavemen, where it's essentially clean meat and organic vegetables.
Right.
No grains, no sugar, no bread or anything like that. I don't adhere to it completely now, but I did for about 3 months, and it turned my health around. And that's why when I arrived back here in San Miguel, I was searching for grass-fed meat and clean chickens. And now I know a chicken lady, I know a turkey lady, I'm the cow lady. And what I think is very cool is these are women. A lot of these, there's a lot of women that are here in central Mexico that are kind of, for their own reasons, have found ways to make clean meat. And I think it's wonderful that I have, my friends are the chicken lady, the turkey lady, the pig lady, and there's some men for sure. But I just think it's great that there's women that are doing this.
Yeah, because women are the cooks generally, right?
Yeah.
Women are cooking, and they're seeing, and there's so much ill health, cancers and all sorts of thyroids and all sorts of things going on, where people are questioning and starting to look for different ways of living. Yeah. So
sure.
you make bone soup.
Bone broth.
Bone broth.
Yeah.
Tell me about that. What's
that?
Well,
that was part of when I was crawling through my thyroid issue, where I was crying a lot and I was getting sick a lot, and I was kind of a wreck, and I was told to try grass-fed bone broth, and I did. And being in Austin, Texas, it was kind of easy to get my hands on grass-fed bones, which is what you need. You put the bones in a big crock pot. That's what I do, and slow and low cook it for about 2 days. And I gave up coffee and replaced my coffee with bone broth every morning. And so the bone broth in the morning, as well as eating, grass-fed meat or clean chicken and vegetables, my health really improved. And I am a huge advocate for bone broth because, I've lost weight, my strength is really great, I jump around town like a gazelle. I'm not going to say it's all because of the bone broth, but it really has, it helps with your joints, it helps your bones stay strong. And in a town like San Miguel, where it's all stairs and hills and it would twist and turn, a lot of times what happens is people fall here and get injured. And I'm not going to say this is not going to keep me from falling, but I just feel like the bone broth has helped with my strength and my energy, and I'm all about good energy.
You sing to the cows? You give them Reiki?
I do. When I first became a Reiki practitioner in Austin, I was a closeted Reiki person. I wasn't quite comfortable with revealing that, and so I was living with Reed at his cattle ranch outside of Austin, Texas, and I would practice Reiki on the cows there. And they seemed to really enjoy it. I would practice my crystal bowls, and whenever sunset came around, I would always seek out, go find the cows and try to spend sunset with them and do Reiki on them. And it's part of, the Japanese are big proponents of massaging the cows.
Oh yeah, Kobe beef. The Japanese, they feed the cows beer and massage them. Kobe beef.
And music, and I wouldn't be surprised if they were doing Reiki on them as well. Anything you can do.
Well, massage is Reiki as well, isn't it?
True. I mean, but Reiki isn't necessarily hands-on.
Right,
I'm doing Reiki on you right now. Can you feel it?
Give me a minute.
Anything, if you're talking about like animals that are going for food, anything you can do to help them, make them comfortable, more relaxed, happier, it only translates to, something better for if you plan on eating it.
Well, it's respect for their soul, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. And, I'm a big fan of treating them with respect. I'm blessing the animals. I do when the cows come out of the slaughterhouse, because they go to a city slaughterhouse in Dolores Hidalgo. When they come out, and then we dry age it for a little bit, I am still blessing them, and it's part of what I feel like I need to do for the cows to thank them. And yeah, I get some looks, and the guys are looking at me like, oh my God, she's nuts and just the crazy gringa, and I don't care. And sometimes I could be ridiculed, but by some. But
well, you're doing something new. Not that's old.
Yeah.
But
right.
You're renewing the old,
right?
Yeah,
that's
and there are people that are vegetarians, and that's great. And there are people that are vegan, and that's great.
Totally.
And then there are people that their bodies need meat, and that's the way it is.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you very, very much for this interview.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Cool.